this is becoming a pretty much staple in most Syncro decks, even though it's a Blackwing card. It's called Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind. Its first effect is it can be special summoned if I have another Blackwing monster on the field. But I'm using its second effect, which basically it halves the attack and defense of one face-up monster on the opponent's side of the field. Pretty handy. Then I've got Dark Tinker. When this card's sent to the graveyard, I get to look at one card on top of my deck, and I basically select if it goes back to the top of my deck or at the bottom of my deck. Other than that, it's a tuner with 1000 attack and 1300 defense. Spirit Reaper, basically nothing can get past it if it's in defense mode unless it's targeted specifically by spell or trap cards or a monster. By spell or trap cards, I'm not sure about monster effect. Basically if it's selected by spell, trap or monster effect, it is immediately destroyed, so you can't really chain anything to make that survive. Then we have Sangan, which is sent to the graveyard. I mainly use this by Syncro summoning. I use Sangan and something like Junk Synchron for level 6 Synchro, like Iron Chain Dragon. And he goes into the graveyard as an effect activates, and I get a 1500 or less monster from my deck to my hand. And then finally we have Karibo. Basically I keep this little guy in my hand, and when the opponent attacks I can discard him to the graveyard so that it negates the attack basically, and I take no damage for one attack only. Other than that I can use him in a Syncro summon, just one extra level if I need it. Right, moving on to the traps, we have Urgent Tuning, super rare. During the battle phase, whether I attack or the opponent attacks, if I have the appropriate Syncro monsters on the field, I can Syncro summon. Lyric Reverse, helpful for getting my lower level monsters out so I can Syncro summon with them. Ultimate Offering helps get my tuners and such like on the field so I can Syncro summon faster. I pay multiple 500 life points for each monster I extra summon. Synchro Deflector, I want some more of these. Basically, it's like a Sakuratsu armor, except for Synchro monsters. Speaking of Sakuratsu armor, here he is. Two of those. I have a Hate Buster. Basically, when the opponent attacks a Fiend monster, I activate this card. The Fiend monster goes to the graveyard and says the opponent's monster, and the opponent takes the damage of their monster's attack. I actually went up against a friend who used Montage Dragon who had 5000 odd attack. I used this card and whittled his life points down to pathetic next to nothing. And then I just attacked him directly and kaboom, he was gone. I love that card. Bottomless Trap Hole, it's like normal Trap Hole except cards are being removed from play, and it includes Special Summon. Basically they summon a monster, normal, flip or special, and I activate this, it gets removed from play. Medicine Dust, staple on any deck, negating attack, and all the attack points go right back at the opponent. Compulsory Evacuation Device, I get to return one monster on the field to the owner's hand, useful like there's something in Blue Eyes or something, there's 2 tributes they'll never see again. Dust Tornado, Spell and Trap Destruction, I get to set a Spell or Trap. Eradicate Epidemic Virus, I love this card. Basically, I tribute one dark monster with 2500 or more attack, and I get to declare spell trap cards, and for 3 turns, the opponent and spell trap cards, whichever I declared, are rendered useless and go straight to the grave, whether they draw them, whether in the hand or whether on the field. Dark Illusion, essential from the dark deck. The spell or trap or monster effect targets a dark type monster. I can negate it and destroy that card. Thing Who, basically it locks to face down spell and trap cards on the opponent's side of the field into place so they can't use them. Clogs up the field, quite helpful. Counter, if they use a counter trap card, I can use this card to negate and destroy the trap card. Shadow Spell, the opponent's monster is decreased by 800 and they cannot change their defense, they cannot change their position, and they cannot attack. Finally, moving on to the spells, Monster Reborn, get back a monster, Different Dimension Capsule. 2 turns, I can select a card to be removed from play and it comes to my hand after 2 turns. I usually use that for the Curse of Masked Beast. Double Sun allows me an extra summon, Axe of Despair, extra 1000 attack points, Magical Mallet, reshuffle, take cards from my hand and put them in the deck, and I get to take the same amount I put in. Curse of the Masked Beast, summons the Masked Beast. Syncro Blast Wave, when I have a Syncro monster face up on the field, I can destroy one opponent's monster. Swords, stops them for 3 turns attacking, stalling for time, Mystical Space Typhoon, Magical Trap Destruction, Heavy Storm, Magic Trap Destruction on both sides, and Pot of Aravis. Gets 5 monsters back from the graveyard into my deck, and I get to draw 2 cards. Anyway, let me know what you think about this, so it's going to go on to change. Now I shall catch you all later. NeoNexudus out.